This is Chris with Eagles. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris with Eagles, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my AEW Dynamite April 20th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's AEW Dynamite episode. Now, we kick off the night with CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes. No, it was an okay match. At the ending of this match, we seen Dustin doing like a little tribute to his dad, where he was punching CM Punk in the face, and then he was setting up for the bionic elbow. But then Punk, before Dustin was about to hit bionic elbow, Punk then hit a roundhouse kick onto him upside the head. Dustin then backs up into the ropes, comes back. Punk lifts him up on his shoulders, about to hit the GTS onto him, and then Dustin reverses it by rolling him up after getting off of his shoulders. But then Punk sat on him, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, CM Punk defeated Dustin Rhodes tonight in a 1-on-1 match. It was a pretty good match. If you have yet, go check it out. I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, it was an okay match between those two. But yep, that's what happened there. And then then there was a segment backstage with Wardlow. Now he comes up and he was talking to Smart Mark Sterling, because Smart Mark had like a bunch of security guards with him backstage, and he said, Wardlow, we already got told that you just gonna come in, go change, go to the ring, leave. That's all you gotta do. Oh yeah, and he said MJF told me to give you this message. Eat shit, pig. And then while he was walking away, and then Wardlow says, oink oink, bitch. But yeah, that's what happened there. So it was a pretty funny little segment right there. But yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, it was okay stuff. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I don't know how I forgot this. After the CM Punk and Dustin Rhodes match, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Adam Page came out, and him and Punk was staring each other in the face, and they just walk off. So yeah, that's what happened there. Of course, CM Punk is going to go after the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, which I bet that match will be freaking great. Can't wait for it. It'll probably happen at the next pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. I think this is coming up. So yeah, that's what's going to happen there. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing the Blackpool Combat Club in action up next on Dynamite. So yeah, I will see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a 6-man tag team match. It was Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta, the Blackpool Combat Club, BCC pretty much, versus Brock Anderson, Dante Martin, and Lee Moriarty in a 6-man tag team match. Now, Arn Anderson was at ringside for his son and Lee and Dante, and then we see William Regal at the commentary table commentating on this match. It was a pretty good 6-man tag match. Dante and Brock Anderson and Lee Moriarty was doing pretty good in this match. Like, for the most part, they was doing really good. At the ending of this match, we seen Dante. He was a legal man with Jon Moxley. He springboard off the top rope, trying to hit like a moonsault onto Jon Moxley, but he kind of like messed up the balance a little bit, but he still saved himself. But it kind of like wasted him some time, because he landed on his feet, and Jon Moxley then got the rear naked chokehold onto Dante, and then Lee was trying to break up the submission, but Jon Moxley was not letting go. And then that's when Bryan Danielson comes in, hits a discus forearm onto Lee, knocking him down. And then Brock Anderson was trying to come in, and that's when Wheeler comes up and hits a drop kick into him as well, taking him down. And then we seen Jon Moxley laying in some elbows on the Dante, and then Yuta was laying in some elbows as well onto Brock, and then we seen Bryan laying in some stomps to the face of Lee. So yeah, that's what was going on there. And then Jon Moxley then lifts up Dante, and then hits the paradigm shift onto him, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that's what happened there. The Blackpool Combat Club defeated Lee Moriarty, Brock Anderson and Dante Martin tonight in a 6-man tag team match. It was an okay match, pretty good one. I'll give it, I'll give it 2 stars as well. It was a pretty good 6-man tag match though. But then after the match ended, we seen Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, and Red Dragon backstage, and they was talking, and then they pretty much revealed their new name, the Undisputed Elite. So yeah, that's what they're going off of now. And they said they're going to have a open challenge 10-man tag team match. It'll be the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, and Adam Cole versus 5 other people. So yeah, that'll be next week on Dynamite. But up next, we're going to be seeing Wardlow versus The Butcher up next on Dynamite. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite now, I'll be talking about the Wardlow versus The Butcher match, which will be happening up next. But we got to talk about the special announcement from Tony Khan. And so, yeah, Tony Schiavone was right up on the stage. He introduces Tony Khan, and then Tony Khan introduces the New Japan Pro Wrestling president. He came on out, and then Tony Khan was about to say the announcement, but then Adam Cole pops up on the Titantron, and pretty much he says the announcement. So yeah, he pretty much interrupted them, telling everybody the announcement. So on June 26th, AEW will be pretty much clashing with NJPW with a pay-per-view called The Forbidden Door, which will be airing on June 26th. I think it's on a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, pretty much like how we got like a few years ago with ROH and NJPW. This time it will be AEW and NJPW. So yeah, both companies will be competing against each other at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. It will be live on pay-per-view. That's what Adam Cole said. And then, of course, he says that he'll be having a qualifying match, well, pretty much to get into the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, where he faces off against Ishii this Friday on Rampage. And then he introduces the Switchblade, Jay White. Jay White walks out to the stage, and then Jay White said that pretty much the Bullet Club and the Undisputed Elite will take the spotlight at the Forbidden Door. So yeah, that's what they said. And yeah, pretty huge announcement from Tony Khan, with both companies pretty much joining to create this pay-per-view, the Forbidden Door. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, this was going to be happening. It was a pretty good announcement. Now, of course, a lot of times Tony Khan says major announcements. Sometimes like the announcements don't, ain't as big as pretty much it is pretty much. But this one, I think it'll be a good one. But yeah, that's what he said. But next it'll be Wardlow versus The Butcher up next on Dynamite. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, so it was a one-on-one match. It was Wardlow versus The Butcher one-on-one. Now the Butcher already made his way down to the ring, and then then after that, MJF's theme song hits, and then MJF is up there like I forgot what you call it. It's that box that's like above the crowd. Keep on forgetting what it's called for some reason. But yeah, he was up there with Shawn Spears, and he says, "Cut his music. Wardlow don't deserve no theme song or anything." And then Wardlow comes out with no theme song, handcuffed, surrounded by a bunch of security guards. And then we get the match underway. It was a pretty good match. Wardlow and Butcher, of course, showing off their strengths, pretty much brawling and everything. But then at the ending, we see Wardlow hit a consecutive of power bombs onto the Butcher. I think he hit like 4 of them, and then he pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Wardlow defeated the Butcher tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened. So yeah, with that match, I'll give it 1 star. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, it was a pretty good match between Wardlow and the Butcher, and then he walks off, of course, with the security guards with him handcuffed again. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, it was a pretty good match between Wardlow and the Butcher. So yeah. I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was Jungle Boy versus Kyle O'Reilly in a qualifying match. Winner of this match goes into the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. It was a pretty good match between the two. If you have, go check it out. It was a really good one. This match, at one point, like Jungle Boy almost had Kyle O'Reilly because at the ending, they was going off for submissions. Like Kyle had the ankle lock locked on. And then Jungle Boy reversed into the STF, trying to make him tap out, but it didn't work. And then at the ending, we seen Kyle hit a superplex onto Jungle Boy off the top turnbuckle, and I guess he was trying to like roll through or whatever. But when he kicked his legs up to roll through, Jungle Boy had him in an inside cradle, pinning him 1, 2. Kyle barely kicking out 2. And then Kyle O'Reilly kept on fighting back, head brain buster onto Jungle Boy, and then he climbs up the top turnbuckle and then jumps off with a flying knee to the spine, to the kidney or whatever, and then pins Jungle Boy for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Kyle O'Reilly defeated Jungle Boy tonight in the qualifying match. So yeah, Kyle have now qualified into the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. That's what happened. It was a pretty good match between the two. If you have, go check it out. But yeah, like I said, for that match, I'll give it a 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it a pretty good match between Kyle O'Reilly and Jungle Boy. But then after the match ended, we seen Christian Cage walking down, and Jungle Boy looks at him. He goes like, "I'm sorry that I lost the match," or whatever. And then they both walked off, and Christian saying it was okay. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, that's what happened there. And then backstage, we seen MJF and Sean Spears, and MJF was talking about Wardlow and stuff. And then Jake Roberts come up, and MJF paid Jake Roberts because apparently next week we'll be seeing Wardlow, or I think it'll probably be next week, Wardlow versus Lance Archer 1-on-1. And Lance Archer came up and he said, if anybody gets my way, everybody dies. So yeah, that's what Lance Archer said. He walked off. So yeah, that match, I think it'll possibly be happening next week on Dynamite. So yeah. But next we're going to be seeing Hook making his in-ring debut on AEW Dynamite. Of course, he's been around Rampage and everything, but this is his first time being in a match on Dynamite. So yeah, that'll be happening up next. So yeah, see you guys later until the next thing happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was Hook versus Anthony Henry. One-on-one now. We've seen Anthony Henry before. He's a part of that tag team workhorse. But yeah, this is Hook's in-ring debut on AEW Dynamite. It was a pretty good match. During this match, we've seen Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese sitting in the crowd watching Hook and everything. And then at the ending, we've seen Danhausen come up trying to curse Hook, pointing at him and everything. But it pretty much didn't work. Hook, of course, his offense is amazing and everything. He was going at it with Anthony. And then at the ending, he locks on that rear naked chokehold and then makes Anthony Henry tap out. And he won the match. So yeah, Hook defeated Anthony Henry tonight in a one-on-one match. But then after the match ended, Danhausen comes in the ring and he challenges Hook to a match. And Hook just starts laughing and walks off and bumps him in the shoulder. So yeah, that's what happened there. So yeah, pretty good stuff right there for that match. I'll give it I'll give it 1 star. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, pretty good stuff. But up next, we're going to be seeing Britt Baker in a qualifying match for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. That match will be happening up next. But, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, we seen Kazarian talking to Scorpio Sky backstage, and Scorpio Sky was like, "Can you hold on by going after the TNT Championship to help me out or whatever?" And he said, "Well, I always got your back," and that's what happened there. So yeah. That match with the women will be happening up next. So yeah, see you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, before I talk about the Britt Baker qualifying match, we gotta talk about Sammy Guevara and them. So yeah, the TNT champion Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti came out, and Sammy was like, "For the people that loves me, thank you. For the people," and I hear everybody else that boos and stuff, and you know what? Screw you. Y'all just mad because I got a bad chick. So yeah, that's what Sammy Guevara was saying. And then we seen Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Dan Lambert come out, and of course they started talking crap. Scorpio Sky wants a rematch against Sammy Gavar for the TNT Championship, and Sammy was like, well, the only way that you're going to get a TNT Championship match against me, which I'll do it next week, if you give me a mixed tag team match with me and Ty Conti versus you and somebody else. So yeah, that's what Sammy Guevara said, and Scorpio Sky accepted. But yeah, next week on Dynamite we will see Sammy Guevara defending the TNT Championship against Scorpio Sky in a ladder match next week on Dynamite. So yeah, that's gonna be the match for next week. But then we get to the next match. It was Dr. Britt Baker versus Danielle Carmella, one-on-one tonight on Dynamite. It was a pretty good match. Of course, Britt Baker was getting cheered, through the whole building because they're in Philly tonight. And Britt Baker, she was doing pretty good. At the ending of this match, we seen her hit that swinging neck breaker onto Daniela, and then hit the curb stomp onto her, and then grabbed the Steelers glove, and then locked on the lockjaw, making her tap out. And then, yeah, Britt Baker won the match, and she qualifies for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. But then after the match ended, she was talking about all the qualifiers like Ruby Soho and all them, talking about how she's going to beat all of them and go and win the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. That's what she said. But it was a pretty good match, like I said. I'll give that match a star and a half. That's why I'll give it 1.5 stars. But it's been a long time since we've seen Britt Baker. The last time we seen her was in that match against Thunder Rosa in that steel cage match. And I think that was about a month ago. So yeah, it's been about a month since we seen Britt Baker in a match. But yeah, still to come later on tonight on Dynamite, we will see Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo tonight in a coffin match. That will be in the main event. And they had added another match for next week's Dynamite. It will be Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb one-on-one in a Philly street fight match next week on Dynamite. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Dynamite. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was the main event. It was Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo one-on-one in a coffin match. So yeah, this was the main event. During this match, like right when the match started, Andrade was already getting helped by Mark Quinn and the Blade. They came up attacking Darby and stuff. And then there was one funny moment where I don't know what the hell happened when Andrade tried to open up the coffin the first time. I guess he got like a splinter or something, but you see him like moving around, shaking his hands and stuff after he tried to open up the coffin. At first I was like, oh, there must be somebody in there or something like Sting, because Sting didn't came out, but then it was just him. I don't know what the hell happened there. But then of course they started brawling through the crowd, and then all of a sudden we see this person wearing a Sting mask. Revealed itself, it was Sting. So Sting being Sting. And he comes up, helping Darby Allin fight off Mark Quinn and the Blade. He jumped off at one point, jumped off a balcony thing, doing a crossbody onto all of them, so that was pretty cool. But then at the very ending of this match, we seen Darby and Andrade right there at the coffin. Darby knocked Andrade off the ring apron, and then he hits a suicide dive. Looks like a freaking bullet hitting Andrade when he came flying through the bottom rope. And he hits Andrade, and both of them landed right in the coffin, which was pretty nice. It looked really cool. And then Darby was about to shut the coffin, but then Jose comes up, and he was stopping that. But then Darby Allin hits a back body drop on Jose on the door of the coffin, which was pretty cool. And then he shuts the lid, and he won the match. So yeah, Darby Allin defeated Andrade El Idolo tonight on Dynamite in the coffin match. That's what happened. But then after the match ended, we seen Darby Allin and Sting inside the ring, and then the Hardys come out, standing on the stage saying delete. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yep, it was a pretty good main event. Not too bad. I'll give that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match. Probably match of the night, but yeah. Tonight's Dynamite, I don't know, it felt like a filler episode, if you know what I mean. The main event was pretty good, but it just felt like a filler episode. Like, some matches was alright. at best, pretty much Kyle O'Reilly and Jungle Boy. That was a really good match. That was probably match of the night, to tell you the truth, because that match was really good. But like I said, the main event was good. Britt Baker's match was pretty good as well. The segment with Sammy Gavar and stuff was alright, with him, I guess, turning heel now, or whatever. Wardlow's match was alright. CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes was okay as well. But yeah, other than that, Dynamite was kind of like whatever. For tonight's Dynamite, I'll give it 6 stars, 6 out of 10. So yeah, that's what I'll give tonight's Dynamite. But hopefully next week's episode will be better, because there's a ladder match on next week's episode, and not only that, a Philly street fight, and much more. So yeah, next week's episode should probably be a lot more better than this week's. This week's episode just felt like filler, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that has been my AEW Dynamite April 20th, 2022 reviews. Subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Friday's Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage reviews. I'll be reviewing both of those shows this Friday night. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then.